down payment assistance or 100% financing options with a second. Most cases, this is about 1% of the purchase price. So if you're purchasing a $500,000 house, for most low down payment or 100% financing options, an appraisal will be required. An estimated range for an appraisal will be about $500 to $750. Now, if you're purchasing a rental property or it's very complex, I have seen it go up to maybe $1,050. Hey guys, Roxanne Hayes, the broker owner of RHM Loans, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the upfront costs that you need to know about when purchasing a home. So before we get started, yes, I know there are 100% financing options, whether it's a VA loan, if you get down payment assistance, or 100% financing options with a second. And yes, those options do not require a down payment, but what you need to know is that a down payment is not the only upfront cost you need to worry about. First, earnest money deposit, or also known as an EMD. This is your quote-unquote skin in the game. This is the amount of money that you are going to initially deposit into escrow within 3 days of signing in your contract. Most cases, this is about 1% of the purchase price. So if you're purchasing a $500,000 house, your earnest money deposit would be $5,000. I have seen the earnest money deposits as low as $1,000 for our VA buyers, especially if they're going to be asking for seller credits when doing their purchase. In addition to having the earnest money deposit to be as low as 1% or $1,000, I have seen it very high. And the reason why is, again, this money is put as a commitment to the seller that you plan on purchasing a home. Now, in the state of California, there are timelines and guidelines that need to be met before you are subject to losing your earnest money deposit. So based on your contract will be dependent when you can actually back out of a transaction if needed. And hopefully you don't need to. That's why we want you to be very much informed upfront so that once you get into contract, there is no backing out unless there's something wrong with the home that you and your family just cannot afford to fix. Home inspection. So home inspection is very important, and I feel it is the cost of doing business. Home inspections are not required, but they are definitely recommended. Your inspector will come out to the property and hopefully look through every nook and cranny, all the way to the roof, down if there's crawl space, anything of that nature. They're going to let you know how old the roof is or when it's estimated that maybe it would need repair. Even down to if a door handle is loose, that needs to be tightened. So as professionals, we highly recommend you getting a home inspection because this is going to have a clear picture. Hopefully it is going to give you a clear picture of how much money you may need to reinvest into this home into the near future, if any. And your home inspection, depending on your area, would probably run you between $400 to $700. A home appraisal. Now, an appraisal is not always required depending on your amount of down payment and if you come back with an automated decision engine. For most low down payment or 100% financing options, an appraisal will be required. Now, what an appraisal is an opinion of value. That's it, folks. It is just a person who is hopefully certified and knows the area of that home is going to give their opinion of the value. And a lot of the times it will either meet or not meet that purchase price. An estimated range for an appraisal will be about $500 to $750. Now, if you're purchasing a rental property, or it's very complex, I have seen it go up to maybe $1,050. Another added cost that you may have to consider outside of your closing costs is a termite report. In some instances, your termite company will allow it to be billed to escrow. Most of the time in the state of California, if there is a termite report on the contract, it is paid by the seller. But if you or a buyer are very insistent on getting a termite report, that would be your out-of-pocket cost. So out of the items we've already talked about, your earnest money deposit, your appraisal, your home inspection, these items are already considered in when you get your closing cost estimate, but these do need to be paid for outside of closing or upfront in most cases, especially in the state of California. So if you have any questions with regards to upfront costs or even closing costs, be sure to reach out to your trusted loan officer so they can give you a breakdown. Please keep in mind, even when it comes to closing costs, this is just a ballpark figure. Closing costs, you'll be charged what your actual fees are. Unfortunately, depending what escrow company you go with, what title company you go with, if you have a HOA company that charges a transfer fee and the seller's not paying for it and the buyer's going to pay for it, even your lender cost, if your lender has a bunch of fees, or if you're purchasing during a time where maybe buying down points or buying down the rate is going to be what we have to do in order to make your deal work, that will increase your closing costs. So we can't go around just giving you a single number of what closing cost is. I usually try to say 3 to 4%, but it's really going to depend on what type of loan you're getting. If you're going to have the down payment, do you need down payment assistance? And again, what area, what loan type, because some of these things are required. And some of these things are required on some loan types while they are not required on other loan types. So if you have any questions, feel free to give me a DM or in the comments, let me know maybe what a closing cost you've experienced that you didn't expect to have. Thanks for watching.